Testing one. Testing one. Hi, sorry. I was a little bit late, so sorry. Again, I was preparing all the information, trying to load up all the stuff in, and well, today I was able to load in maybe like 7 minutes before the show, which is I think it's pretty good, So anyway, okay. I'm very happy because now I can stream a little bit better because I guess because I have a new MacBook, I have a new iMac, which I can, because previously I have to do my OBS and YouTube or at the same MacBook. And the MacBook is I think 2008 version. Yeah, so it's dual core. I think it's i5 dual core, and then it's 8 gig 1333 RAM, or even lower, could be 667 even, So it was running very taxing, and so that's why I have to run at very low resolution, and then because it's lagging and a lot of problem, a lot of unsynced between video and audio in my video and that I played, so there's a lot of problem lah. So but then I'm very, very happy and very thankful that I can acquire this new iMac, which I used to run my YouTube for doing live, and then on this notebook, which is where the webcam is. Today I'm a bit rushed, so I never set up my good webcam, so it's a little bit blur, but okay, I think if you're watching from your notebook or even your phone, then it should be quite okay. Wouldn't be too will not be too much of difference. Okay, so okay, today I'm a little bit saddened, or a little bit of these few days now. Okay, a lot of things happen, and one of the things happened is that I fell down on Tuesday. Some of you who knows me know that I have back surgeries over the last within the last 10 years, surgeries, and I'm wheelchair bound because my upper and lower limb has not much strength. I have double foot drop and have a lot of health problem now. Okay, Let's button up. I'm not a gangster. So what happened was on Tuesday, after I goes to my church for doing some recording, I came back home. Because now at the time it was a bit narrow. The entry from my sitting room to my dining room was a bit narrow because they had put up chairs at the entrance, the bottleneck entrance, to put fans because it was very hot, and because my brother had to work from home, so he also need a fan during daytime. So it was very narrow, and I think I hit onto one of the chairs and I fell down. I wasn't in a wheelchair. When I go home, I actually can walk around from home. When I'm at home, I use a elbow crutch. I can show you it here. Actually, this is an elbow crutch. Da, 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 da. This is the one that I used to walk around. And I was walking around, walking into my room, and then I hit onto the chairs and I fell. So I did not hurt a lot. Thank God I did not hit my head on the floor, but I hurt both my legs, twisted both my legs, especially my left feet. My left ankle is totally twisted, and it was very painful, and I couldn't even really walk even to the toilet. Okay, and it's painful even when you touch the ground. So what happened after that was I also hurt my back, so it's very, very painful when I move. I will twist around, I feel the pain, so that's why I'm sitting at a very peculiar position. So rested at home for a few days, and today I feel better, so I went back to church on Sunday. And after because in my wheelchair I never put the pedal, so my leg is always dangling, and the blood flow down, and then when you twisted your leg, right, you hurt your leg, you're supposed to lift up your leg, so my leg is the other opposite, all the way down. So it got worsened just for the few hours I was in church on a wheelchair, so couldn't because in my church you gotta go up the step to go to the lift. Not to lift, you gotta go up a staircase to go to the lift. For a person with wheelchair, it's extremely hard. So it was very, very tough for me to go to church every Sunday, or every day, every time when I have to go do some work. And what happened was today I have to force myself to go up. After the service, my leg got worsened, so going down was so painful and difficult. But I did manage to come home and reach home. And for those of my friends who has been maybe praying and been keeping good thoughts for me, I'm very thankful, and that it worked out. And I'm home right now, and I'm able to go to church to do my work. Okay, I'm just serving and doing streaming like this, job streaming, but then it's more on the Sunday service streaming. So tough, painful, feel weird, and I push myself, and I'm very happy today. I pushed myself and I'm able to do it because to me all these challenges in life is it doesn't stop me, and I always like to overcome all these difficult times, this type of difficult situation. I don't like to be subjected to all these things now, so that I would not be able to do what I want to do, see. So yeah. So I notice I'm looking at my Mac. So what happened now? Why am I sad? Because of falling down? No, fall down actually makes me more resilient and more I'm a very tricky person. The more difficult I want to push forward, Throughout these 10 years, because of the back surgery, I've endured a lot of pain. You can't imagine the pain after the operation when they have to take out the broken bones of my back and put in artificial bones, and then put in screws with the implant. The implant is still behind me, upper and lower back. And the pain was excruciating, and it was very, very something that I do not want to live it again, live it as in going through it again. So and then throughout the 10 years, the helplessness, you need people help, and you need to go through physio, and that is that was very, very tough. So how do I go toilet? And some of you may ask, that you cannot go toilet, you cannot walk, how? Well, I have a walking frame. When I was first discharged from hospital, I still kept it, so I will use my walking frame one small step at a time. Every step is painful, but every small step at a time, I will walk, and to make it to the toilet and do my big and small business. Yep, that's my life. And again, I say I'm very thankful, because it could have been worse. Without the operation, I could have been bedridden. So I'm already very thankful. So am I sad just because no? Because recently someone asked, did not tell me before my face, but asked me a question like, why do I do what I do? I mean, why do I do? This is this channel is Lights On, right? And Lights On channel, and it has the main show, which is Lights On, and also this show, which is Singapore Paranormal. So the question, of course, a lot of them ask me is, why do I want to do this show? I mean, it's not fantastically like compared to other shows, and I don't have a lot of equipment. I can't go out and do paranormal visit to places. There's a lot of limitation for me, and the question is still, why am I going to do it? And then and what is important is also is because I'm a Christian. A lot of them who are Christian based ask me the same question, why? It's no good, you don't want they say that it's not very, maybe it's called not a very glorifying thing. You talk about all this kind of thing, and it's bad for me, and maybe they will link also to my falling down and some of the things that I go through as the like a punishment or something, because of what I do, and then cause all this cause all this problem, I don't know what. First thing first, the reason why I do it, although I'm a Christian, I believe what I believe, but I also want to state the fact that nobody can say that none of these things that happens, all this paranormal phenomena that happens, is not real. It really happened to people, and I don't believe that everybody is lying. And I don't believe that that everybody is exaggerating. So I believe in the story that a lot of people tells, and even some of them have evidence, in video or even photograph. And I don't think all of them are fakes. And why is this an issue? And the issue is because most Christians would like to chunk it to demonic, rather than try to admit that there is something going on here, because it's hard to explain. Okay, first thing first, you have to explain the theory when we talk about demonic and all this, because it's a common belief in Christian. It's common, let's say, because it's not 100% biblical, that there are no ghosts. All these are just demon, familiar spirits and all that. And I refuse to say that, because I do not know everything about the Bible. And from what I know also, it doesn't really say that there's no such thing as ghosts, not directly. So with all these paranormal phenomena going on, I want to accept that there are something going on. I may not say, I mean that, oh yes, it's ghost, it's this, it's that, So, but then I like to give it an open, how to say, I like to have an open mind about this, okay, and I also like to open up the possibility that we may not know all the answers. Okay, now, of course, people say that why you want to do this. Okay, some people suggest me, hey, do a talk show about business, do a talk show about this, about that. Now do maybe like some other people who has a talk show about Christian walk, a talk show about you know God providence, a talk show about prophecy, a talk show about this, a talk show about that. All healthy stuff. Why do you want to do this? Paranormal, and you are walking, you are almost journey on a very fringe and very dangerous path. Like I said, my character is such that when it's painful, I want to push myself. Not because I'm a cheeky person, not because I am a person who like torture myself, but it is nobody is doing this, and I want to be able to be honest, okay, with everybody. Although I'm a Christian, I want you to know the facts. I want you to know what the legends say. I want you to know what people say that it means. I want you to know what other people think. I want the facts be told. Okay, there are such things as black magic. There are such things as ghost doors. There are such things as puntiana. At least there are such legends, and some of them has video to prove it. Some of them has photograph to prove it, and some of them have experience to prove it. Okay. Could they have mistake? Yes. People tend to make mistake, and people tend to fake things. But I'm very but I want to bring the all these available facts or available media or proof to let you decide for yourself. I do not want to force my belief down your throat. But those people who question my how to say it's like a betrayal to my beliefs, but I did not, okay, because always in my program, if you watch from the beginning to the end, I will always advise people, if you are not sure, don't try all this. If I will always advise people. I give people the other side of what other people say is beneficial, do this, beneficial, do that. I will give you the questions, is it really that beneficial? Okay, how about looking at this angle? If you do this, you have to pay back. How about looking at the angle that you think about the benefit for the moment, but then how about in the long run? These are the things that I always tell people. Because of my background, I cannot help it, because of my background, I will tell people what I think. Okay, and if you watch my show from the beginning to the end of even one episode, you will know that I do that all the time because of my Christian background. And if some of you are offended by it, I'm sorry, but then that's me. And I also, that's why I like to do, I like to question, give people who are doing all these, people who are out there who have maybe different beliefs, or maybe you are also a Christian but you are thinking of hopping out a little bit to do this thing, so that you can get wealth, you can get luck, and you can get to know what you want to get, then you hop back in. But then I will want to advise against it, because there are price to pay, and these are the things that I like to do, and these are the reason why I'm doing it. Okay? I know what I'm doing, and I know why I'm doing it, because nobody is doing this. People like to do something which is safer. Maybe the spiritual leaders will all love it because you're doing all these things, outright, you are benefiting the Christian society, or Christian people, benefiting a lot of people, I don't disagree. Some of you who are doing that, you are doing great work. But somebody has to do the work which is more to the darker side. My always belief is this, that you can be at the dark side, but you don't have to be in darkness. You can be in a dark place, but you don't have to be in darkness. Okay, or you can be in darkness, but the things that but you can be, well, how do I say it? That I was thinking about this. You can be inside darkness, but you don't have to be in darkness. That's what I was trying to say. You can be inside darkness, but you don't have to be in darkness, because if your light is shining among other light, it's just another light that shines, but if your light is the light that shines in the darkness, that's where more people or most people will get the benefit of that light. So that is my stand. Okay, I'm talking too much about myself already. Today's topic is actually on true Singapore ghost story. Okay, and I actually have a lineup of all the ghost stories and all that in Singapore. Trustworthy or not, I'm not sure. But then I do have some of the videos of the confessions of people who live in haunted places, who has been to haunted places, or who has been has an encounter with all these paranormal things before in Singapore. Okay, not overseas. So you'll be surprised to see that yes, they are outright haunted HDB flats even, in Singapore, and some of the places you can actually capture scary EVPs and stuff. So I'm already giving you a hint of what is to come, what I just expected. Okay, so Singapore, I do not want to promote too much of all this. We call it the 怪力乱神. I mean, believe, go and do this, do that, to get the riches and all that. That's why today I want to take a break from all this. I was going to do Gumiho today. That means 狐仙, 九尾狐仙. But then decided to do a little bit out of that topical, more on stories. Not because of anything, because it's time we learn a little bit about our own countries and what are we facing. Okay, this is not to make you frightened. Okay, but then these are some of the facts that is happening and some of the evidence that we are collecting. We saw. Okay, I did not collect the evidence. I like to make before I play the video. These are the videos I took from a paranormal group. They are called I think it's called Paranormal Confessions. Okay, and their confessions, they are actually a group. They actually did a lot of good work. I've seen their channel, and there are a lot of videos they did. Some of those with interviews, some of those with explanation of different haunted sites and all that, and they are doing fantastic work. And I'd like to recommend to you that if you want to see, you really want to see some of the some of what is happening. I need to take out about 5. So you really want to see what is happening, or the Singaporeans, what are the haunted places and some of the history of the haunted places, what happened. You can go to the channel. It's called Paranormal Confessions. Okay, so they do really good work, and the reason I'm promoting that is because I'm using their video. I did not edit the video, so their names are all there. Okay, I think I want to be fair with them. I also hope that they don't strike me, in my YouTube, because I'm using their video. It's just to also to promote them. Hope that you will go to their YouTube channel to visit them. Okay, of course, if it it's also good that I mean I also hope that you will like my channel, subscribe to my channel. You also like this video and like this and share this video with people, so that you know, I get some encouragement, because I do get resistance from people. Okay, and so yeah, as a thank you or something that is you know, something that you can send or to email me to for your encouragement, or even to email me to acknowledge and tell me your stories and all that, is actually very big encouragement to me. Okay, so I really hope that you can also visit and like my page and subscribe to my page, and then you can press the little bell after you press subscribe. You know, the little bell is to so that you get notified when I go on 9 and when I go when I start streaming. This is a live broadcast, in case you were thinking. Okay, we start at 10 o'clock every Sunday. Now, without much ado, I want to show you the first video first. This first video is about a haunted HD flat. Now, this flat is actually very haunted. So some of the things person share, you can see from his passion or from the way he share, you know that he's actually not lying. I don't think he's exaggerating. He's quite a learned man from his language he speak. So I think that he could be quite a you know, a person which it's not like the kacang putih manner, but he's a person who has certain level of education, who understand what he's saying, and we don't just believe blindly, you know. A person who is quite spiritual now, and paranormal confessions actually interviewed him, and then they took some photographs, and they have some findings. Okay, you'll be surprised. And they also did some recording, and you know, if you hear clearly, you can actually hear, you know, some crying and all that. Okay, so without much ado, I will play this video, and so that you can see. Okay, let's go.
Feel that whatever they were experiencing from 2019 was just increasing, and then I started seeing these figures. Actually, the first time I saw was right here when I was sitting down watching a game, and it was standing right here behind me. So when I turned and I looked at it, I thought I would have died that day or that night. It was just this black tall figure right about here. The eyes was red, and I remember looking back in front and turning back again. It was not there.
Is anyone here? What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
I got this house in 2019. Moved in, I think, somewhere around March. As soon as I moved in, I just felt uncomfortable. I was just thinking that probably it's old. This house has been deserted for some time, and you know, there's a lot of history between these two blocks. But actually, before I moved in, I heard from the neighbors that a guy just jumped out right outside my house. It was a teenager Chinese guy. Apparently, he had some dispute with his dad, and then I don't know why of all places he chose mine to commit suicide. So I was thinking this is not a good start. And then initially it was just morbid, you know. At nights you feel uncomfortable, you can't sleep, then you hear voices, then you hear like people chatting away, then it just dies out. Then when you feel like, oh, I just heard it in the living room. Then when you come out of the living room and you try to think that it's coming from outside the corridor, maybe neighbors or someone. And then I'll be sitting down here watching a movie. I will hear sounds in the kitchen. I'll hear sounds in the toilet. Initially in the room itself, I had a lot of hauntings. Like I can feel someone is like squatting down in the corner. All these things were like really disturbing me. But most of the time I was not here at night because I worked at nights. I just pulled through. And then it became even bad. You know, for all of a sudden things will just go wrong. I will have lights that just won't work anymore. and just bad luck in my life, you know. Nothing seems to go right, and then when I go anywhere to work, I get into trouble. And as a matter of fact, since last year, it became worse. Somewhere around October, I was just getting sick for no reasons. You know, I go to the SGH, I get admitted for a few days. Doctors say that, oh yeah, you have some conditions, then we'll see you as an outpatient, so you can go back home. And then I'll go back to the hospital again and get admitted. SGH said that I think you should also go to IMH because you're mentally unstable. I go to IMH shoots me to SGH again. So left, right, center, and you know, there's loss of appetite. You know, I couldn't go out. If I go down to buy something, I'll just turn and come up again. Like I had a phobia of going out. At the same time, I had also had fear of staying in the house. Like I couldn't work, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything, and I was just at home, and I was starting to think, hey, I'm starting to be like a corpse now. So that was starting to worry me.
And you didn't have any of this before?
Never.
So only after you come in here that
all these things, gradually it came. I was thinking this is really something serious. And then I started seeing figures darting about. Just like darting here, someone standing there, something moving into the toilet fast, even in the day. So I felt that this is something wrong. So I started calling my friends, and then a lot of people came here from every religious faith. But it just didn't stop. And everyone who come here, they say that, oh, I think this house is cursed. You better don't stay here anymore, just leave. Because these entities, they have been here. They don't want to share this land. I think we had one of the members from the group. He came here to help cleanse the house. And he said that whatever is here will not go. This is her place.
And that room behind you, that's the one
That's the one that I was hearing crying and sobbing sometimes. The room was locked all the way because this is an interim 3-room flat. That's my bedroom. When I came in, I chose this. But I knew it was empty because I saw it. I know it was empty. When I started hearing the sobbings and laughter, I was always thinking that it's coming from above. But then wee hours at night, that's when I started getting worried. I mean, who is going to be crying at night inside there? So I knew something was wrong. That's when I started bringing in all these mediums and religious preachers and all that. It was the day that this guy called Wong, I can't forget his full name, Wong. He came here and we did the cleansing, and that's when he got the medium to get into a trance and communicate with the so-called spirit inside. He said it's a lady and she commands all the spirits in these 2 blocks, in this area itself. So I was like quite flattered. Well, I got a star staying with me. But I thought it would be over because he seemed very confident, this medium. So he said, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. Do an offering. I mean, he was kind enough to leave some chairs. He left the red one there and asked me to put offerings on top. I did, but it just got worse. The figure starting about was the one that I really couldn't take it because, you know, you're trying to think, am I imagining or is this for real? But when it happens, there's some kind of sensation in your body that makes you realize that no, this is real. I don't know just really how to explain the sensation. People say you got their hair standing at the back, but I didn't get all that, but it was just from within, you know. So that was really disturbing me big time. Okay, after the medium told me to do this, nothing is working out. So what am I going to do? But I was just basically kept alive thanks to the members of the group. They were sending me all this moral support. Some of them sent me provisions, mini fridge, just because they understood that I'm just helpless, you know. There's nothing I could do. Until that one fine day when I saw the old Malay lady naked, covered with sores in the toilet. That was when I felt that I should do something.
Can you describe the Malay lady?
Very scrawny and frail. I think she's like probably the height of this stand, but she was just like cooped up on the toilet bowl. So when I saw her, I just couldn't move. It was afternoon. I can hear people talking downstairs, cars coming in, motorbikes coming in, but I just couldn't move. And I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, this lady by somehow through the window came into the toilet, or what? Is it a human? Or there were these questions going in my head, but I knew that something was wrong. And that smell, that horrid smell. I closed my eyes, I opened, it was not there, but the smell was still there for a while. I remember coming back here, I light up a cigarette, had a smoke, I sat down, and I thought to myself, listen, you got to do something. And I was a monk before in Thailand and Cambodia. So I sat on my chair, I just meditated. It felt peaceful. And when I opened my eyes, I felt like a voice telling me to get the ring. Now I remembered the ring. So I have to go back to this story. When Wong cleansed the house and after he left, Chongsters called me and say, hey, can we come and see your house? I think it was about 1 or maybe 3 in the morning. I was still awake because I was like trying to get everything, like what the hell was going on. They came up, and while Wong was here, I had this voice telling me to get the ring, but the voice was not like compromising or something that was seeking help. It was more like demanding, and threatening me, like, you should get the ring, get the ring, it's my ring, that kind of thing. So I told the medium who just came, he's telling me to ignore it. Should we go and try to see if there's a ring inside? So the boys, the two of them, it was not an easy work. Somehow they did it. They broke the door and we went in. One of them found the ring. It was a small, very small lady's ring, but it was just spring with cobwebs and everything. So it is, I don't know how many. And I'm surprised because we did see the room. Me and the management, we did see the room. I mean, just briefly, just looked into the room. And they asked me which one you want. I said, I picked this one. So I was really shocked how the ring came about. But we decided to just leave the ring there. Because I was afraid if you touch it and then if something happens and if these guys touch it, and they also didn't have their equipment, so they were like also thinking what to do, it was like very impromptu. We closed the door and I thanked them, they left. And after that there was no mention about the ring until that day, after I see the Malay naked lady. Then I went in, couldn't get in at first. I was thinking that's strange because if you look, there's nothing there. So I try to push, cannot, try to break, don't pickle in, nothing. Then I had to call a handyman and then we broke inside, the ring was there. And there was a spider inside the ring. So I just took the ring, tapped the spider, and I just went in front here, buried it. Okay, that's where I buried the ring. The 2 banana trees that you see. When I came back home, everything was fine. I remember I didn't have dinner, I just went to sleep. I was like so tired, I felt so tired. Since then, nothing.
What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
basically, I was filming a funeral for a family member, and I was in a funeral home. And basically, I had my camera on a gimbal, and I was walking down a small corridor. There were two aunties to the left of me, and there were one or two people kind of milling around, right? And when I took the footage back and I was editing it and put my headphones on, I heard this kind of sound, and it creeped the hell out of me. I let my wife listen to it, and she wanted me to delete the footage, the sound straight away. Now, I tried to kind of figure out where the sound was coming from, right? At first I thought, okay, the two aunties over there who couldn't keep quiet and they're probably chattering, and that's what it picked up. But the sound is very different from the sounds that are kind of around me when I was kind of filming, right? And even when listening to the sounds in the footage, it sounds like that voice or whatever you're going to hear is right in front of the microphone. But I'll just leave it to everyone to have a listen. I have no idea what that is.
No fucking way.
It's saying some. What do you guys think?
Sorry. One more time.
I need to hear it again.
Can you guys hear that? Kim and Sonia? Or is it too soft?
I can. It felt like, I do not know, I might be wrong, but the first three words that I heard might be, are you gonna? Then there's something that I couldn't figure out. But the first, the first three words sounds like, are you going? Are you gonna? Something.
It doesn't sound like English to me.
Okay, I'm not sure, but it could be just my head. But I can hear people whispering, and
it sounds like what our fans are saying right now on the comments section I'm reading. It sounds like someone is casting a curse. I'm wondering, Joe, have you tried to backmask it? Have you tried to play backwards?
I have, but it still doesn't. Nothing really comes up. Nothing really comes up in terms of. It doesn't make it any more legible in terms of hearing words and stuff like that.
Okay, so what Alvin, our smooth operator, has done is he has backmasked it. Shall we just listen to the reverse and see whether we can pick anything up?
I don't like it, man. I don't like it at all. Nah.
Oh.
Game over.
Fuck.
It sounds even freakier than the first round, man.
It just sends a shiver down my spine. I feel this is almost evil. It sounds evil. It doesn't sound pleasant at all.
Sounds negative, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Eugene. It sounds really, really, unpleasant, and I don't know, as if they want something.
I don't know, man. This doesn't sound like somebody wants something. This is something like, it feels like a warning. So I don't know what it is, but I can tell you what it's not. It doesn't sound like a cry for help.
It sounds female, firstly, and it's a very hushed kind of it's an urgent whisper. That's how I felt. There was a sense of urgency in it. Joe, you mentioned that there was no one around you.
No, there was about, when I looked at the footage, right, there were two people about maybe 2 meters to my left, right? And there were some people around me as well. When you listen to the footage, when you listen to the audio and you look at the footage as well, you can almost pick out what the people on the left are saying. You can pick out that kind of ambient sound. When I put my headphones on and I put it through the software, this sounds like it's right on the mic. It doesn't sound like it's coming from the ambience
From around
of the room.
you.
Okay.
exactly at the mic. It's
Yes.
capturing where the mic is. And because I know you and we're having this conversation,
Feel that whatever that I was experiencing.
Okay, so just now same thing again. I forgot to switch on my mic. So what happened was I was trying to explain to people that what is EVP. What he called was actually a electronic voice phenomenon. It is something that when you record, when you do recording and there's a digital recording, you are able to capture sometimes. Because of the frequency, the frequency in how to say, you catch that frequency. Okay, you are able to capture that frequency when the spirit is speaking. You are able to record what the spirit is saying. Okay, and many times in such a recording, you will be able to hear audible voice, and sometimes you're able to make up what it says. Okay, but then there are times that you can't make up what it says, and sometimes it's just screaming. Okay. I have had heard a lot of EVP over the years because I like paranormal stuff. So some of the EVP, one day I'll do a whole series on just EVP. Some of the EVP will scare you off of your wits. Okay, scare the daylight out of you. Because some of them are soft, but some of them are really loud. I know there's an EVP that is so loud that it's louder than the person who's asking the question, and the sound is can't make out what he's saying, but then it's just screaming at the top of the voice. And the only thing I can say is that such EVP are like demonic and definitely straight from hell. And just like the one that we just played, right? It's a whisper, and the whisper is actually very sinister type of voice, and it's very scary. Sound like some possession type movie. Come out of possession movie. So it's quite scary. Okay, so yeah, what do you think? Do you have you ever had any electronic voice phenomena that you have captured accidentally? I mean, are you recording something, maybe it's a meeting or something, then suddenly there's a voice inside which is not supposed to be? Send us that video, send us that audio file. We will analyze it. I have the software to analyze it, and maybe we can isolate some of the ambient sound and see what does it say. Or maybe it's just another ambient sound, nothing to worry about. Okay, don't do it at home. If you want to do it, experiment with it. Don't do it in your room, because I have someone who shared this. They were experimenting with EVP, got the equipment and recorded something from in her own room. Okay, and she got a message saying, "I'm gonna murder you, I'm gonna kill you." Tell her how the spirit telling her or trying to frighten her how it is going to kill her or take off her life. And from then onwards she couldn't sleep in her room especially. So don't do it. You do not know what you will encounter. So if you are not sure, don't do it. Okay, VBP is also something that you are touching, something that you shouldn't be touching. Some people has because they are so engrossed and so attracted and so obsessed with the EVP, they take it everywhere, and they have tons of tape with EVP. And then in the end, from what I know, is the person was possessed because of the fear and the obsession. Because obsession, remember last week we were talking about obsession is one of the stage of a possession. So do not be obsessed with all this. Yeah, unless you are a paranormal investigator, it's your job, it's what you do. So and if not, then don't do it yourself. Okay, and honest advice from me, I don't do it. Not at home, in my room anyway. Okay, so the first story we heard, it was just now, it's a haunted HDB flat. And do you have such encounter? Do you have any photographs that you have taken that is that, like I say, extra person was there, and do you have any photographs taken that there is a shortage of things, and shortage of person, somebody is missing from there? You don't understand why. There are such photograph, paranormal photograph. Okay, I have once seen the photograph when a boy, one of the leg is missing. Okay, and you can see through and see what is behind. The leg is supposed to be, but the boy has both legs. But then it's beard. Okay, some part of the body is missing, or some people is just missing. We do not know what kind of message is sending, or is there something else that's happening. So if you have such photographs, you can send to us. We will be very happy to look at it and then give our 2 cents worth of what it is all about. Okay, and just now I was just telling the story of how, as a lady who in Singapore, a colleague is leaving the company. They went to take a Polaroid picture of 4 of them, okay, together, and then they found an extra person at the shoulder of that colleague that was that is leaving the company, and that actually make the whole 4 of them very upset, because Polaroid you cannot fake, okay, and Polaroid you cannot do like the overlay, you can do a lot of things you can do because it's instant. So it is the most preferred paranormal investigator equipment, because you get it, it's quite, you see a Polaroid, is almost quite sure that you can't fake it. So yeah, so this is the what happened to this lady who actually told her story. Okay, now let me tell you another story before we goes to the before we goes to the next video. Next video will be very interesting. Okay, there's this lady, she told this story that she has a boyfriend who passed away. Okay, but she didn't get a chance to say goodbye before he passed on. So a few days after that, I assume that the funeral is still going on. She was walking home from the gym on maybe she's too sad, and she's trying to exercise and get rid of that sadness. Sometimes exercise can help you to get rid of depression and all that. Okay, maybe she need to do that. So she was going home from the gym. Suddenly she smelled his favorite cigarette smell. Okay, the boyfriend is a smoker, or was a smoker, and she smelled that favorite smell. Okay. Most cigarette smells the same, except some of the cigarette smell differently. She probably knows. Then when she entered the lift, the smell grew even stronger, as if he was beside her. So like old times, she instinctively called his name. Okay, I mean, she forgot he passed away. Okay, I think she instinctively called his name, and the emergency bell rang. Okay, the emergency bell, the red color bell. She called his name, and then it started to ring. When the door opened, she ran out. The smell followed her until the point when he used to stop to kiss her goodbye and send her off outside her house. Okay, that means as if like the boyfriend has been following her, was sending her home, give her a goodbye kiss, and then go home. And his cigarette smell can still be smelt. So that is her story, isn't it? Something to think about. Could it be her mind? She missed him too much. Maybe, but if she is quite confirmed, and if she's quite lucid person, she's not overly sad, maybe it could be true. Okay, so yeah, but of course it could be him, it could be not him, because a lot of people may know what his cigarette smells like. Okay, he's not smoking he's not the only person who smoked that brand, obviously, right? So it could be someone else who has been smoking around her place, and the smell of cigarette can sometimes linger and last for quite a while, especially those very strong smell one, and then also it could be other spirits, so don't jump in the conclusion that's the boyfriend, and I happen to know that there are some demonic spirits that are called familiar spirits, okay, and the familiar spirit is actually written in the Bible, okay. If you thought it was just rumor, it's not. It's familiar spirits is written in the Bible, and these spirits will follow you wherever you go, knows what you do, knows about your boyfriend, knows about your girlfriend, knows about your parent, knows about everything probably about you if you have one that follows you. And then this is the best time when you're most gullible, to scare you or to get you to be to interact or to have contact with this demonic spirit. So whoever has been passed, let them pass and go peacefully to where they're supposed to go. Okay, so lingering around with spirit is never a good idea, even if it's your husband or your boyfriend, your girlfriend or your wife, or it could be your parent. You may believe that, okay, they will never hurt me, but what if it is not them, it is something else? So better don't entertain spirits. They have their own world, you have your own world. They're supposed to go where they go, let them go where they go. So how do you deal with that? I think if you do not pay attention to it, and you let it go and leave it as it is, if you smell it, smell it, if you see it, leave it go, and do not entertain it, do not give it too much attention, don't give attention to it. They will have no choice but to leave you alone. Okay, people who has passed, it's better that they go to where they go. Even if it's real, it is always believed that if the spirit is near to you, it will drain you. It will drain your life force away from you. So it's never a good idea. Okay, of course, emotional things sometimes it's hard to say, and I know that sometimes someone dear to you pass away. It's a lot to process. If you can have someone with the spirits back, something of that person is back, it will helps a lot. Yeah, but then but I say it's never a good idea. Okay, it's good that you have when you are going through such time, you go seek help from friends. Maybe be around friends, get a good friend to stay with you or to be with you. I mean, you can also find solace in the God you believe in, having faith, and also maybe also to get close to your family, let them help you to go through it. Okay, never a good idea, huh? So let's go to the don't waste time, go to the third video. Okay, let's go to the my it looks a bit weird. Anyway, let's go to the third video. Third video is about a girl who has gone through possession and she's sharing her experience. Okay, so let's hear it.
At 2 a.m. I felt like somebody was shaking my bed. So I got up and I thought it was time for school, but I look around, it's nobody. I look at the clock, it was 2 a.m. exact on the dot, 2 a.m. And then I was like, oh crap. And then I can hear somebody's breathing. So I was like, okay, something behind me, but let's ignore lah. So I lie down back again and I just stayed like that. And something started tickling my toes. And then I was so frightened, I didn't move. I just still, I was like praying, I was trying to pray, but I cannot think of anything. Nothing came to my mind. I was like, okay, I think you should just sleep lah. So I put the blanket over my head and then I just pray like, okay, go away, go away, go away, go away, this kind of thing. The next moment I knew something yanked my blanket.
I really don't feel good right now. This
Is
getting a
is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
Spring, I just shoot out of my bed. I ran out of my room, and that's the time my mom got up and she was walking past my room and we saw each other and we screamed. And then she said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Ma, I cannot sleep in this room anymore. I cannot. I really cannot. Like, you need to help me." And then she said, "Okay, come, I will sleep with you in your room lah." So she slept in my room beside me. 15 minutes later, my mom tapped me and then she said, "Rose, wake up. You're not sleeping here anymore. You need to get out of this room now." And she said, "From today onwards, you're sleeping in my room." Okay? I didn't answer anything. I went to her room. I was so happy. I just went to sleep. And the next day, she told me, she said, "Do you know what happened?" I said, "I don't know. All I know is I really needed to sleep, so I slept." She said that the moment she came and slept next to me, she saw like an apparition of a lady. She wanted to ignore the presence lah, so she closed her eyes. And the next moment, she knew there was 2 fingers. And she said maybe she felt like the nails were very long. They just put the hand on her neck and it was pressing down on her neck, like trying to choke her. And that's when my mom got up and she said, "You need to get out of this room right now." After that, when I asked her, she said that from before already, like for 2 weeks, she noticed like there's a different presence in the house. Like it's in and out, in and out. It's not like staying in, you know. So it goes, because she prays in the evening, and she said once she prays, it's out. But it comes back at around 1 o'clock. And I told my mother, that's the exact same time I wake up. And then we see a Chinese medium when I was younger lah, quite often. We'll go to, I think I'd rather not say the place. It's a very famous place. It's run by a brother and sister. And usually when I go there, we call him master. So the master, he's very nice to me. He would always, whenever he sees me, he will stop whatever he's doing and then he will come to me and then he will like sayang me and talk to me. But that particular day, when I went, it was a Friday night when I went, he was talking to somebody else and he just turned and he stared at me. And he didn't say a single word. So I just continued walking. I was already a bit frightened. So I go and sit down in a chair. It was like our turn next lah. So we went to see the sister instead of the brother. So the sister, I don't know why, I felt very afraid. So I hid behind my mother. And then she looked at me, she called me out like that. Then I went to her. And then she said, she looked at me, she looked at mom. Then she said, "I don't think she looks good, you know. Look at her face. Does this look like your daughter?" Like that. And then my mom said no. And when they started talking, that's when I realized there are many things my mom didn't tell me. She said that at night, I would sleepwalk. And I didn't know all this. In that 3 weeks that I was experiencing all this, I would sleepwalk. And she said there was once I went to open the front door of the house. But my father stopped me in time, but I didn't wake up. And the thing is, I don't remember any of this. And she said there's multiple times my mom has woken up and she looked to the side of her bed. I am staring at her. And I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't say a word. And so she would ask me, like, "Rose, why are you awake? Like, why are you not sleeping?" And I would just turn back and walk to my bed. The medium was like, thank God you came early, because this is a really, like, it's a very serious case lah. A bit, you just let this go a bit more, she will confirm like get sick and she will die for sure. That's what she said. So they have this kind of ritual. It's to ward off your bad luck, your sway, whatever is attached to you lah. And it happens in Sembawang Beach. So before you go into the water, there's a ritual you have to do. The master, he will do, I think he'll pour milk over you and then he will say some prayers and then he will, I think it's like a incense or something. Yeah, he'll put incense all around you. But when I went there, he took the whip and then he asked me to stand with my arms up in the air and then I have to like lock them like that. So I was like close to tears already lah. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna hurt, you know. And I put my hand up. But when he whipped me, I think he whipped me like 10 times. I didn't feel a single pain at all. It was nothing. It was like somebody hitting me with a scarf, you know. I didn't feel anything at all. And when I walked towards the water, I had to dip myself in, I think 21 times. Yeah. When I did myself 21 times, I remember the 20th time, because there was a guy next to me, he's the one supposed to help me did myself. 20th time, I felt somebody grab my leg from underneath the water. And I actually panicked, and then I came up, and then the guy was like, I know what's happening, but you keep your head underwater. He said, one last time only, don't think of it. And then that's it. That night I slept peacefully lah, but my mom didn't for the next 1 week. My mom said that every night, she said she saw this apparition of a lady, but her hair was like all over the place. She had red glowing eyes and long fingernails, and she would come to my mom like she's going to strangle my mom like that. Yeah. And I think the last disturbance she had regarding that incident was she said she was sleeping. This one was very scary. She said she was sleeping, and when she woke up, she said she saw someone like she saw me standing next to her in my pajamas and everything. But the thing is, when she talked to me, I did not respond, and I jumped on her and I started strangling her. Yeah. So when my mom snapped out of it, and then there was nobody, and she walked to my room, I was sleeping there.
What did you find? You are listening to
Excuse me. Scary, isn't it? Sorry, choking my. What a scary encounter. So have you ever have such experience like in spiritual possession? So there are people who has control possession and of course survive it and then live to tell it. I know of someone who has who is a pastor, and before he was a pastor, he he went to get prayed, okay, and then there were, I think, at least 23 spirits that has been cast out of him. Okay, that means the spirit one by one left and all speak with different voices, and some of these are very, very scary. Okay, it's scary for the person who is standing there. I mean, even more scary for the person who was possessed. You have no control over your body, and and you do not know what you have done. Sometimes you could have, like what this person have shared. She could have hurt her mother, or she could have hurt herself. And so better get rid of the spirit quick. Okay, so let's hear another story. Okay, it is a person who said that about a hotel story about a hotel. Okay. Now in Tokyo, she's a flight stewardess. So her in Tokyo, the entire flight crew checked into a hotel that is rumored to be dirty. Okay, not the physical dirty and not cleaned up. That means haunted. The moment she entered her room, she felt a strange vibe, but chalked it up to because she was very tired. So she bedtime she slept. She on the TV because I think it's a common practice for stewardess. They will on the TV like it's like a white noise kind of thing, and then also keep the lights on. And some people do that because they are scared. Okay, of course, obviously she's scared. So she so she was a little bit weary. That means she was a little bit concerned when she woke up suddenly in the middle of the night and the TV was off, because she remembered that's what she do and she do it all the time, and the TV was left on. So who switched off the TV? It was a silent dark room with no TV on. Okay, and because her bed was facing the door, and also she near to the door, so she was facing the door, and she's this feeling someone was on the other side of the bed. Okay, that means the other side of her bed, that means next to her someone was sleeping next to her. So she shone the lights and she turned around. She saw a girl sitting upright on the bed. There was a girl sitting upright on the bed. She screamed and the girl's neck moved 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees, not too bad. People can turn 90 degrees. Screaming along with her, she turned 90 degrees to her side, I think, probably, and screamed together with her. Wow, that's very scary. And she ran out of her room and spent the rest of the time, the trip with with another crew. Remember, spent the rest of the trip. That means the rest of the time, in another person's room, and that's not the weirdest part though. When she was showering, she noticed a stretch mark on her own back that stunk a little. Okay, so obviously she's a very slim person, so she doesn't have stretch mark, so she did not lose a lot of weight, and so she found that when she was bathing, a stretch mark on her back, and when she touched it, it was painful. Okay, now that could be anything, but then the part where she saw a girl sitting on her bed and turned her head 90 degrees to her side, and when she was screaming, the spirit also screamed. That's scary. Okay, if the spirits stay there, keep quiet, at least not so scary. When they scream together with you, is what a scary sight. Okay, so this next video is about a video that found a demonic portal in their own home. So let's talk about the demonic portal, a portal that comes from hell. Is it possible? Could be, There are many portals in this world. That's why there's a lot of open doors, for spirits. So let's look at the video, okay?
When I was doing my meditation, this was like our small living area, right? So I had set my mat down lengthwise, and I was seated on the floor with my back against this partition here. And the figure, that decomposing man figure, he came from like about here, right in front of me.
Is anyone here? What did you find? You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
My girlfriend and I booked a BTO, which is only going to be ready in 2023. And we wanted to live together for the time being. We looked around, we wanted a place somewhere in the east, and we found this spot here along Marine Parade Road. I signed the contract in March. I moved in April, on April 1st. We have a loft up there. That's where our bed was. For the first 2 weeks, went out, take care of the house, clean up and all that. And I'll usually take an afternoon nap. And on at least 2 occasions, I would stir awake. I have this feeling of a presence just like looming over my shoulder. And when I opened my eyes, from my peripheral vision, I could almost see like this tall, dark shadow just like watching me. I could feel like I wasn't alone, I could feel something there, but I just brushed it off and I thought, perhaps it was something else, So that was the first 2 weeks. In the later half of April, after my girlfriend's, hectic period at work, she was spending more time at home, and there was one night in particular, she had a dream. She dreamt that she rose from her bed. She came down the stairs and into this corner right here. That's where our dog was in the dream. So he looked a bit scared, and he was sitting in the corner. He was obviously afraid of something. And in that dream, my girlfriend had that feeling to go towards him and look into his eyes to see what he was afraid of. I mean, that's the kind of message she got in her dream. So she looked into my dog's eyes, And in the reflection of his eyes, she saw a male figure, shadowy, dark. And that figure was somewhere in this corner. That figure was trying to grab at my girlfriend, and it freaked her out. She described this whole dream to me the following morning, but she didn't give me a really detailed description of that figure. So I was like, shit, that's another sign perhaps, that this place might not be the best for us. And then things were okay for the week after that. We noticed after a while, after that dream, that our dog would, on some days, and it's always between about 5:30 to 7 p.m. It's always during that period. He would, out of the blue, just stare at that exact corner where he was in the dream. He would stare, he would start quivering, shaking, whining, whimpering. You could see that all the signs that he was afraid. His tail would be tucked between his legs. He would start whining and usually cowering. And he would either take shelter around the corner or run up or just be around us. And it's always the same time, between 5 and 7 p.m. in the same corner. It would happen almost every other day, sometimes 2 or 3 days in a row. One particular day where things got really quite spooky, my girlfriend was out at work and she had the whole day there. She was only going to return home at around 9 or 10 p.m. at night. So I was alone at home the whole day. And my plan for that day was to prepare dinner, and then I would take a shower and I would do my meditation. So at about 5 o'clock, I started preparing dinner. I was cooking and all that. And my dog, who was upstairs at the loft, he suddenly came running down the stairs, and he was staring at that same corner. And again, he started whining and quivering and whimpering and all that. But at that point, I just ignored it. So I finished cooking, I took a shower, I put my mat out, and I was going to sit down to meditate, which was right here against this wall. The moment I sat down and I closed my eyes, and immediately the first thing I saw was this male figure who was to the left of my field of vision, and he walked from my left, right, dead center. What I saw was a skinny, frail-looking man, probably average height. He had very thin, long hair. It was wet, and it was almost matted. It came down to his shoulders. Not wearing any clothes. I couldn't see his facial features. I could see the shape of his face, the silhouette, but none of the features. The grossest part about the whole thing, the whole image, was that he was decomposing. I remember seeing his arms very clearly, and the flesh was peeling off. It looked semi-decomposed. There were bits of flesh falling off his extremities and all that. His entire body was this dark brown, almost black. So this was happening in my mind, and at exactly the same moment I started seeing all these things, my dog came next to me and he started whining. So that's got me pretty anxious, pretty scared. So I stopped my meditation immediately, and the moment I stood up, I could feel a definite presence right in front of me. The feeling is, some people describe it as goosebumps, but to me it's more than that. It's like the air in that spot vibrates. It's like a different frequency. You can feel like a buzz or a hum in the air, and it's only in that particular spot. So I was a bit curious. I stood at that spot and I could feel my whole body was tingling, this difference in the air and all that. And the moment I took a few steps to the left or to the right, away from that spot, it felt totally fine. So while all of this was happening, my dog was scared. He ran back up, I think. So for the first time in my life, I actually spoke out loud, and I told this thing, whatever it was, to just get the hell out. I said that we've done nothing to disturb you, so just leave us alone. You're not allowed here, and just get the fuck out. But he still lingered for a while, from the door up to that wardrobe in that area. And it was there for 15 minutes or so. So I did what I could at that point. I played some mantras. I tried to console and comfort my dog, but he was quite out of it. Yeah. And immediately I texted my girlfriend, who was still at work at that time, and I said, I think I know exactly what you saw in your dream. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, don't worry, everything's okay at home. Just come home and I'll tell you. So when she came home, she was like, obviously, what happened and all that. And I told her that this is what happened. I sat down to do my meditation. The moment I closed my eyes, I saw this man, and at the same time, our dog started whining, you know. And I explained all the features that I could see about this male spirit. And she's like, that's exactly what I saw in my dream. All this while, I've been telling my sister about what's been happening at the house and all that. And whatever we tried didn't seem to work. She's back at my parents' house, right? And she told me that she'll do what she can from there to see how she can help the situation at the house. And she said that when she tuned in to the house, the energy of the house was very weird because it didn't seem like grounded. It was flitting between the physical dimension and otherworldly dimensions, you know. And she said she almost felt like there was like a portal between the other dimensions and the physical dimension. And I was like, that's exactly what this freaking corner is. So she told me, okay, like, tune into this corner and imagine like sealing it, you know, in your mind. So that's what I did, and I was in the corner. I was standing in the corner here. My altar was just to my right, and this corner was to my left. And the moment I closed my eyes to like tune into this corner, it really did seem like a portal. There was like a hole. I saw this like a crack, which was irregularly shaped, right? So I was like tuning into that crack or that hole, and I saw two faces. One was just from the top of the head to just above the mouth, I think. So it's just the eyes and the nose. Soon after that, I saw another face, but just eyes, just red eyes. Well, it looked like they were peering out from it, you know. I tried like closing it and like guarding it, protecting it, the help and the protection of the deities. And it seemed better after that, at least for a few days. But after those few days, the same occurrences again. My sister has two friends who've lived in this area for, I think, most of their lives, I guess. And they said that many years ago, this entire house, before it was compartmentalized or segmented into the different units, it was like a New Age spiritual center.
What did you find? You are listening to.
Oh, hi. Welcome back. Yep. How about living in a house where it's a portal to another world or a underworld? You know, isn't it scary? So it's like the person to pass by his house did not even realize him and know what he said, but it's just doing his own transfer traveling, you know, just traveling here and there, and then because it is the portal, it is the doorway, you know, so they can't be bothered with you, just go through. I mean, isn't it a very scary thing? Because out of the portal of hell, you do not know what will come out. Okay, it could be a demon, it could be anything, and it may not want to. After he saw your house, you may just want to decide to stay instead of go somewhere else. So a portal in a house. So if you have a portal in your house, what should you do? First thing first, go look for your spiritual leader lah. If you are Christian, go look for your pastor. If you are other religion, look for your other sifu or whatever religion to help you. I'm sure they will know what to do. Portal like this can only be closed as my own beliefs and my own religion. Can only be by closed, not only by prayer and fasting, but also by the blood of Jesus, because there is power in the blood of Jesus. A lot of people do not understand. It's just thought that it's just a term that the Christian use, but the blood of Jesus has its own power. The blood of Jesus was the thing that cleanses sins of man, the man and woman, sins of man, and in all ages, you know, throughout. So the blood is so powerful that not only cleanses people that time or the future, but also in the past. So it has a time effect, such power, you know. That's why it is very powerful. And I remember that there are many instances, direct instances from my friends, okay, who say that you know, she saw, you know, there were she saw a demon possessed person, you know, a friend who suddenly got demon possessed while in the car and doing a lot of funny thing, and then in the end she has to use the, you know, pray with the blood of Jesus, and then see something red color, transparent red color knife that comes out on the man, you know. She literally see it, and then the man was okay. And there were many instances I heard also, if someone who is a missionary, you know, in Indonesia, he shared this in confidence lah. He's a media person, a sound man, so he goes there to travel around to help missionary work and all that when he was younger. So he said that there was one time when this the daughter of a missionary, that means a person who goes there, a pastor who goes there to spread the word, the good news of the Bible, and then the daughter suddenly could speak the native language. She never learned. She's very young, maybe 12 or 13 years old. But she never learned the language. They never go to the school to learn, so they do not really know that. In fact, when they speak, they need a translator if you want to speak to the native. But suddenly one day she could speak fluently, okay, the native language, and they find that something is amiss, so they try to deal with her in that the room. It was a big room, and from what he shared was that they have a big deliverance power showdown, okay, that night, and you know, even like what you see in the movie, you know, the girl can raise her hand, and then you are being pushed to the wall, you know, up the wall, pushed to the wall and up the wall. That type of power, okay. And she speak with her, don't know what she's speaking with her own language, and her voice changed, and it changed to an adult voice. She's a small girl, she changed to an adult male voice, okay. And yeah, these are the things. So this is not the first time I heard from missionary, okay. I've been a 30 or 36 years Christian. I have contact with I have not dealings, I have maybe short contact with some missionary who actually share that some, you know, some of the thing they encounter, you know, especially in countries or tribes where there are a lot of spirits involved. The fight with them is very physical, you know, and it's very real. The spiritual fight is not just prayer and then you hope things happen. It's that you literally see it not happening, or you see it happening, you know. It's like the one missionary was saying that you know, the roof will start to shake, you know, literally shake. They are talking about tap house. It's not a storm and not anything, but the roof shakes out of a clear sky, okay. And that's when the spiritual fight attack will come, and yeah, you know. And coming to that, I was saying that in the end, the you know, the native girl thing, they used the blood of Jesus, this prayer, and then it was settled, okay. And also there are other things I heard about. You know, there were many people who shared, you know, renowned minister of God and all that. In Christianity, they say the blood of Jesus is very powerful, and many times when they pray and they you know, they apply, they pray just by faith, apply the blood of Jesus, you see there's an effect on people who has been possessed, you know, who has been demonized. There are things that happen, and then there's a release. There's a lot of power in the blood of Jesus. So can you apply it? Actually, everybody can apply it if you are Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ. But if you really need help, I suggest you look for your spiritual leader, you know, if such thing happen, you know, if there's a portal or what, this type of thing can only be closed, I believe, if you apply the blood of Jesus. If you don't have enough faith, you better get your spiritual leader. Don't get young. Okay, so let's we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to skip this story now on, but I'm going to go on to the next video. Now this video is Tanglin Hawk. In Tanglin Hawk, this lady was sharing her experience there. Okay, haunted place at Tanglin Hawk. Okay, let's go straight to it.
Now, there are a few instances. There are some things that actually happened to me. What happened was, I think, when of course I came of age. I hope you understand what I mean. I came of age. So, and of course I was still not married. So you know the V word. So what happened was, I could felt someone pressing down on me, and then it felt like a male voice. Like I said, all these things, why I remembered so clearly and vividly is because it sort of like impacted me, and impacted me, and like it felt like something was latched onto me. So I still feel the presence around me at times. So I just take it that it's just my dad. God bless his soul, like a guardian angel around me. Please, don't let me have the same feeling again. So I'm always praying to that. But what I could felt was it was a male spirit. It was pressing down on me. I couldn't shout or scream. I could feel I was into another world, totally. You know you are there. Your senses, everything's working. But you just can't shout out to call to your parents. My mom was sleeping on the floor to shout out to her, this and that. So this was a personal experience with me. Next.
I really don't feel good.
You're getting a
Is anyone here? What did you find?
You are listening to Supernatural Confessions.
Next thing was when I played the coin, the Oja board with my friends in school. There was a tree near our school here, Pamaisura Primary School. Now, I didn't know that they took the coin from under the tree and then they will start playing it. And I was also blur, young kid, and then they said play a game. I'm like, oh, let's play a game. And then it was raining. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon where nobody was around, principal, nobody, and we could use the empty classroom, so we didn't get caught, you see. So the next thing I know, the thing started moving and moving as per the questions they were asking, and then all of them let go. Then I was the last one, and I just got shocked because the door split open, and it was a security guard that came in. We got the shock of our life. Whoa, okay. But I could felt a bit weird after that. So I carried that coin home with me. Okay, without them, they say, yeah, you just keep, you're the last one, touch the coin, never keep. So I didn't know I brought it home with me. From there onwards, I felt very like an eerie presence. I think that's when this male presence started to on me. And whenever I go into the washroom or I showered, I could feel like somebody was watching me. I just felt like the very icky, the person when he gives you that kind of look, the up down look. So I could really feel that. Then of course I had and there was once when my dad came into the room. I don't know what happened to me. I stared and looked at my dad, and I think got a little bit like possessed. I just felt like strangling him, like any other male that I see. I just felt like strangling him. So there was this like anger. I felt like bursting out, just charge at him. I wasn't in my senses. I was so afraid if I have a knife or something sharp, I would have gone after him. So somehow or other, I tried to fight it back also. I was like, no, that is your dad, and then you do not do these sort of things. So a little bit conscious and a little bit semi-conscious, both sides doing for me. Then I have a neighbor who's on the 6th floor. Her father is a bomo. So you know what's a bomo, Malay bomo, right? So what he did was, I think my mom or my dad sensed that something wasn't wrong with me, because sometimes I went, just angry over everything. So he brought me into his room and he spread the water and he said the Quran with me. So he made me see into this room and then he said, "Keluar kau," something like that. And he said, when he was doing that water, holy water on me, and then he said something to my friend saying that, you see, there's another shadow that is actually latched to her. When you look at her shadow, there's something there. So it's latched onto me. Then he asked me, after I fainted a bit, then he asked me to wake up and then he said that, what exactly happened? When did this actually happen? Then as soon as I go, I told him under the tree, found the coin, friends, blah, blah. I brought the coin home. He said, do me a favor, I'm going to cleanse the coin and everything right now. You bring the same coin, he wrapped into that cloth, the Quran cloth. You go under the tree, just say, sorry, we shouldn't have taken the coin. It's back at its rightful place, owner. So once you say it, do not turn back anymore. Okay, just say sorry and just walk off, no matter what happens, even if it calls you back or whatever. So practically I did that. So I think things were better after that, obviously. But I still can feel a sense of closeness, like latched on into my soul or touched my soul or somewhere. I still, just I remember so vividly this incident. And whenever you talk to me about that, remember I was telling you on your live that I still feel it like it's around me. Okay, it's not harming me in any way, but it's just that I get this anger, but I try to control it also, which I'm not a go all psycho out on you kind of person, you get what I mean? Another thing, my father, also a little thing happened to me. My father actually could talk, but he lost his speech. Guess why? I was young, I think I was 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, I don't remember vividly, but that's how he lost his speech. He was carrying me and we were walking down towards, I think after the polyclinic, the bus stop, there's a staircase up, right? So in the middle of the night, I think he didn't see he was carrying me. It was about 12 plus, we came back from a late night movie with mom and dad. Carrying me, and then he just felt like spitting. He didn't realize he go and spit on the thing, right? So after that, my dad is sleeping in the common room where the window is opened, obviously. It was hot here. So once he just told us, he said, can you close the window? I'm scared. Then I was like, why? Then slowly he started losing his speech, become slurry, and he can't say out. Same thing, he also felt like there was an evil lady or something, he said was staring at him, and every time she'll come through the window, or she'll knock through the window. That's what he's been telling us. So same thing, we brought him to the BOMO, but he said cannot, sorry, it's too late, his speech is gone. So after that, he just couldn't get back the speech. We tried, but he just couldn't. I don't know what is it about our family that we're attracting all this. I don't know, maybe it started with my dad, the aura, and then brought it home. But my dad got so scared, and my dad is huge, he's like a bodybuilder. Can you believe he is afraid to be in that room alone? He every time see there's a red, like you off your light, that's it. Another one more thing, best part. I had this tenant. I put up my room after my dad passed away, okay? So obviously I didn't tell the tenant that my dad died in that bed, okay? Which my mother didn't allow. I said, let's just change the bed. No, fine, I keep quiet. So I felt bad also about it. Okay, hopefully he's not watching this program. But okay, we changed the bed up 2 days after that because I just didn't feel comfortable, okay? So after that, the tenant, he's the person, I think he can see things, and he's into Christianity, this and that, although he's Hindu, right? So I think he embraced Christianity. He just said, in the middle of the night, there's another tenant who's sleeping over there. He said, I can see there's one person like a black hovering figure just standing over and staring at my tenant. Another thing, you know, kids and dogs can see stuff, right? I got so scared of my life. My son was standing with me, very young, in the kitchen. He just pointed out, and he said, don't laugh at me. The uncle standing over there also laughing at me. And my kitchen light was off. And I was like, sorry, what? You know how scared that is? I said, come, we go to this side where there's more light. Uncle cannot see you. He said, uncle also smiling at me. And sometimes, I think when my mom got hospitalized, into 2-3 weeks, so I was alone with the kid in the room. My tenant also wasn't around, he was out with the friends. So then after suddenly my kid woke up and pointing there. He said, can you ask him to go? Ask him to go. Then I said, what is he pointing? I don't see anything. He said, maybe I don't, of course I don't have the third eye or whatever, open up third eye or whatever. I don't believe in that. Or I do not know, but I do not want it to be open at all, seriously. So then I said, okay, then I say a little prayer, please don't disturb us, there's only 2 of us. So please, we never do anything to you. So just, we always believe in my Indian God, like that kind of thing. So I always teach my son, say, wake up, pray, before you sleep, pray. So that's why I try my best as I go out now also, I bring always a sharp objects with me. And I don't try not to carry meat. But of course, if you really have to carry meat, you got that sharp object, you know, like safety pins, always carry me. So my son once asked me why you bring out so many safety pins. I'm like, it's just in the box. I say, just in case tell, only lah. How do I explain to a kid?
True. Well, what did you find?
There you have it. That's the last video already. Okay, bring sharp object, go out, bring safety pin. Okay, maybe it's a good idea. 2 users, one maybe okay, Chinese also believe sharp object actually can挡煞, because they are afraid that even Pontianak is afraid of sharp object. Okay, so can carry safety pin around. I used to carry safety pin around, one whole bunch, because sometimes my pants would crack, then the safety pin will always be very useful to temporarily solve the problem. Yeah, so safety pins. So that is about Tanning Hawk, and wow, so much happening. Maybe they are alive, and their frequency or whatever, they attract the spirits, the whole family. It seems to happen to the whole family. Okay, there you have it. Singapore real ghost experience. Okay, some of those are stories, some of those are experiences that they go through. So cannot say that Singapore is without all this stuff thing. We are just like any other country out there, you know. We may be a little bit more advanced, but there are still all these haunted stories around, and they are a lot more. Okay, if you want, because today I'm using a lot of the video from spiritual confession, supernatural confessions. You can also visit their channel to look out on their videos. Okay, but if you want more collective and you know, see a few videos and one with explanation and all that, and other things including stories, you can always subscribe to our channel and always like us, you know, and share our video. Okay, and now that I'm not sharing my video with a lot of my friends because I'm afraid of people criticizing my channel again, so really depend on you who are picking up this channel and who happen to see this channel, you know, share, like, and then share with more people. And thank you very much for tuning in. Just remember this, every Sunday 10 p.m. we are at tiny.1/ghost. Okay, and you will always be able to go to the live when it's near the time, you'll always be able to go to the live telecast of that broadcast of this show. If after the broadcast it will be VOD, that means you will go to the latest video that has been recorded. Okay, and it will be on available on in YouTube in this link and in our YouTube channel. If you want, you can visit our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/lightsonsg. lightsonsg. I don't have it here on the slides here, so I will put it on maybe next week. But you can actually this video you can actually find out the channel already, and most of our and all of our videos are already in the channel already. Okay, yep. So that's about all today. I want to invite you to come to see us every Friday 8 p.m. on our main show. It's called Lights On. Okay, the main show is called Lights On, and it's every Friday 8 p.m. Okay, you can find us at tiny.1/light or tiny.1/16888. Okay, I will usually be hosting it with my friend Fish. Okay, so that's all for today, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us, and we need all your support. So if there's anything, remember to email us. Okay, here is our email address. Okay, you can or you can connect with us, and who knows that we can become friends, you know, and you can share our experiences, and we can even invite you to come to our show. So don't say that nothing is impossible, because all things are possible. Okay, so during this period of time, stay safe. Now currently we can only go out to restaurants. Can we go to restaurant? We can go out to restaurant like 2 person only, so don't over go out to eat, so don't over invite lah, you know. Stay safe, you know. Every time have your mask on, even unless you're eating and all that, and you know, immediately after that you can put back your mask. Okay, you never know that a person that walk past may carry the virus, or he may just, you know, you never know lah, such things. So it's better to stay vigilant. Don't have to be fearful, but stay vigilant, and just be on high alert. Okay, in all things, be supportive to fight this virus together. Okay, so stay safe. All right, so have a very good night for you, or 5 minutes more to Monday. So take care. Okay, Bye.